Welcome everyone. In this series of videos, our goal is to demonstrate how you can sculpt a landscape using blueprint brushes. This is an entirely new approach introduced in Unreal Engine 4.24. Now, blueprint brushes are a flexible and powerful tool that enable you to sculpt wide swaths of landscape in a time-efficient manner. And if you get good at using these brushes, you can craft some pretty sweet-looking landscapes. This mountain range that was created right here was created in very little time using a blueprint brush. Now the goal of this specific video is to demo and explain what a blueprint brush is, what it can do, and show how to access blueprint sculpting brushes and how to add one to your landscape. Now this is currently done in a test project, so I'm going to jump on out of here. I'm going to hit F11 and unfull screen this, and I am going to exit out of here. Don't need this anymore. And here I am back in the same project that you all created, your landscapes project. Now, the first thing we need to do in order to add one of these blueprint brushes is to get the landmass plugin. So right up at the top here, along your toolbar, come under Settings, click Plugins. And under the search bar at the top, let's search for landmass. We need to add this landmass plugin right here. So click this enabled button and it's going to say it's in a beta version. It might be unstable, yada, yada. We're going to say, yes, we do want to enable it. And then you're going to see a little bit of a message saying that we must restart the Unreal Editor for the plugin changes to take effect. So we're going to restart now, and I will rejoin you in a little bit. Okay, and my engine has started back up again. Now let's create a brand new level. I'm going to come under File, New Level, and I'm going to create a default level. We're going to select our floor here, delete that out, and we're going to create a brand new landscape in this new level. Come under Landscape. Make sure you've got your Manage tab selected here. We want to, of course, create new. We do need Enable Edit Layers checked. Very important. In order to use this brush, you must have Enable Edit Layers selected. Material, sure, M ground grass will be good. Everything here we can leave per normal. Let's go ahead and create this. And before we do anything, just going to rise up into the air. I'm going to save this level right away. We'll save it. Clicking that button right there. Under my Landscapes Maps folder, I am going to call this guy Landscape _ Blueprint _ Brushes. And we'll save that out. Okay, next order of business is down in my content browser. I'm going to click on this View Options button down here. And you should make sure that you've got both Show Engine Content and Show Plugin Content checked on. So make sure that that is if it's not. Okay, next thing we need to do is locate our sculpting brushes. We added the landmass plugin, so coming under my sources panel, and if you don't see your sources panel, you can click that button right here. I'm going to scroll on down until I find my landmass content, that folder right there. And I'm going to click on Landscape, Blueprint Brushes, and the one we're going to explore using is going to be this Custom Brush Landmass. Okay, so we can simply drag and drop one of these guys into our level. You're going to see kind of a triangle looking shape. And as soon as you do, you're going to notice that a pyramid of sorts is now populating your landscape. Let me just move this on down. And in the World Outliner, we have added a custom brush landmass as well as this landmass brush manager, which we're not going to deal with that anytime soon. Okay, so make sure you've got your custom brush landmass selected. You can see all kinds of brush settings down here, but we're still not in a position where we can use our brush. We need to, over in Landscape, Sculpting, instead of using the Sculpt tool, we need to change this on over to Blueprint Brushes. Okay, important step in order to do that so you can actually modify this brush. Now we just added this custom brush landmass to our level. Right over here in the details panel of our landscapes, our edit layer blueprint brushes, we see custom brush landmass. You see two little buttons down here. You wouldn't even know that these are buttons. This is highlighted purple, and it says that this custom brush landmass is currently affecting our height map. You can click on this to turn it off. My pyramid is now gone. Click it to turn it back on. This one over here affects the painting that this blueprint brush can apply to your landscape. Now, landscape painting is not the focus of this video. We got plenty of that upcoming in the future. So let's talk about how we can manipulate this blueprint brush to create an interesting sort of shape. Well, we've got these different spline control points out here. And if I was to select one by simply left clicking on it, and let's say I move it up or I move it down, nothing really seems to happen. Let me just Control Z here a couple times to get that back. However, if I select one and I move it in that direction or that direction, you will see a difference. Up and down doesn't really do much for a single control point, but moving it along the X or the Y axis will. However, if you have your entire brush selected, and I just clicked off my landmass brush and then click back on, it shows that my control point or my translation widget is right here on my spline control point. And now if I was to grab it, I can move it up and down, and you can see how that reshapes things. So I've got 3 different control points out here on my spline. Can I add any more? Well, the good news is yes, you can. So this is how it works. You've got to select a single control point like so, and you can see how the area to the left of this turned this sort of orangish color. Now, if I hold down the Alt key, left click and drag, I can bring out another control point, and you can see it's got some tangent handles here that I can manipulate as well. All right. So let's add a whole bunch more spline control points. And you can do this however you want. I'm just going to Alt and left click and drag. And I'm just going to move this guy out like so. I'm going to move this one on the far left way out. I'm going to create kind of a mountain range of sorts. Okay, zooming back out. Okay, again, to the left of this is where it's going to create a spline control point. Alt, left click. I'm going to bring that back out like this. Alt, left click. There's another one. Holding down Alt, left click will go like that. I'll do Alt, left click will go out like this. Maybe I'll pull this one way over here. Select that one, Alt, left click, bring it in like this. And you can see we're starting to get a pretty interesting shape. And then Alt and left click, something like so. Now, you don't need to close off this loop or anything like that. Nothing like that. Just creating an interesting shape like this is enough. And you can add some more control points to the end of this one if you want. Holding down Alt, left clicking like so. We'll just simply add another point on the end like this. You're going to want to whip it way around like so. Now, obviously, this doesn't look all that interesting right now. It looks rather artificial, but in our future videos, we're going to manipulate some of the settings for this brush to make this look a lot more realistic. So that is going to do it all for this one, guys. Make sure you've got a basic blueprint brush spline shape in order. We'll see you in the next video.